Building and Facilities Construction Committee meeting of Wednesday, May 17th, 2023 will begin at 4:05. I first would like to make it clear that Ray has been excused. He did call me. He was unable to make the meeting today. And the other thing is, I did not have Jen put on the agenda for reorganization, but we need to do that at the next meeting.
I'm sorry, can we close that door?
Yeah,
Unless you want to speak
yeah.
up some more. I'm a little bit hard of hearing.
That's okay.
All I can hear is them talking.
Thank you. Bless you. Okay, just go around the table and give your name, please, so for the recorder.
Linda Brown.
Brett Fontaine.
Bob Wormy.
And Shirley Mazinski. Thank you, everybody. First item on the agenda is the Board of Selectmen assignment for the needs assessment and feasibility considerations supporting options for public safety and/or highway department building projects. And either two Matts, so whoever, would you update us on this? Any progress?
I guess the title throws me a little bit. This is an active project now, right? So
Yep.
we're way past needs assessment. Weston and Sampson will be out on Wednesday to conduct their second round of site visits in connection with that first piece of the project, which was assessing the highway department's needs and looking at the sites that we had forwarded to them as part of the bid documents that they would be assessing as part of the study. So we're looking forward to that. That's, you may know, they've already been out once. So we had a kickoff and an orientation, and they went around. They're very thorough. So we're looking forward to meeting with them on Wednesday. They were here today, and I'll get to that in a second, but they were here today on other business, and they feel that we are still very much on track for a November town meeting conceptual design funding proposal.
Who are they meeting with when they come out?
On Wednesday, well, they typically now will be meeting with John Furno, Adam Furno, Selectman Fitzpatrick, and myself. Selectman Fitzpatrick was assigned by the Select Board to fulfill that role, so.
Any questions for Matt? Linda?
Yes, because that number one explanation kind of threw you off a little bit. Should we title it something else now? What's
Oh,
next?
just an update, I think, on the public safety and/or highway department building project. I think that
So we'll change it to that.
was-
Yep. Thank you. Anyone else?
So that should be considered under number 2, administration report on projects in process. And that should be letter A now.
I won't interject myself in your business, but it sounds
Just,
reasonable.
Because
Yeah.
that one is ongoing. That's the highway.
It is, and it'd be the biggest
Yeah, well,
financial commitment of the
I
town.
think that's why it's put there separate, and I think,
Well, that was just to get somebody
Yeah,
here.
but
now that you have that person and they're on board, that firm.
it
and
could be
that's an
either
ongoing
way.
project.
Anybody else have any comments on that? How would you like to see it?
Oh, no, that sounds fine.
Go ahead.
Just, so from here on, are we going to get a report from somebody after that happens?
On
Will it go through you?
Oh, it'll still go through us. We can make all your meetings. We don't cost as much money as they do for the
Right.
hour.
Yeah, no, understood.
So, well, will we ever meet with Weston and Sampson?
Yeah, I think there's, when we hit a milestone,
Okay.
once we get to,
Probably with Weston,
I
Sampson,
think-
Mike, and,
yeah, I'm trying to think of when the logical point would be for a, full-blown update. Probably when they have a recommendation on which piece of property to use.
Good.
Would be a good time. Because at that point, they'll have roughed-in building elevations and other considerations. And it would be important for this committee to have an opinion on those things.
Is exciting.
Everybody,
So
question?
you said you're going to be part of that
Fred?
meeting? So,
Okay.
so no matter what that says, you'll be updating us. Excellent.
Bob, anything? No? Okay. All right. Item 2 is the administration report on projects in progress. So we need to be updated on, I think, the oil spill, which we were waiting for the final letter. What's happening?
So our firm, our environmental firm is 21 Environmental, it's its name. The scientist's name is Pat, and Pat was here today doing a final round of, hopefully, final round of air quality measurements. He took all of his samples and is sending them off to the lab. So we should have closure on this, I hope. I just spelled environmental with 2 T's. I should get more
Uh-oh.
sleep. By the time of your next meeting.
Sure. Anyone? Questions? You good? Green Communities, Matt Benoit, right?
So we have put forth an application for a new round of grant funding. We had a couple of projects lined up that we were reviewing with our project expediter from Innovus Energy. One of them was for new transformers at all the schools. And the unfortunate side of that is right before the grant was due, we found out that National Grid was not going to be able to provide any incentives on those transformers. So this was, 2 or 3 days before the application was due, and we were kind of weighing that as our big project option. So I talked to the the regional coordinator about it, and so we could still submit, but it might not be favorably received without National Grid incentives tied to it. So we took the one project that we knew would work, and that was the high school LED lights. Now, we didn't do them all on the last grant round. We did a lot of them, but there was still some that had to be done. So it was about a $35,000 grant request, and that is all we submitted with this round. Those other projects we're going to continue to work on with Innovus Energy. We might even consider some options for maybe fall town meeting funding, maybe on-bill repayment, depending on some other variables. So, but as of right now, we have successfully submitted an application just for the LED lighting at the high school, to finish the LED lighting at the high school. We won't hear likely back on the grant application until after the summer. So there might not be much to update this group for quite a while.
Sure. Anyone?
Just by way of explanation of where we are, I'm going to try to pick up the microphone so it doesn't hurt the ears of our cable TV people. As old as a generator, not generator, as old as the transformers are up at the schools, and they need to be replaced, and it is not something that can be neglected for very long. They were not so old as to be of the generation of transformer where the efficiency improvements were made. In other words, the last time we bought transformers for that site, the major improvement in efficiency had already been made in the technology. So the transformers we bought, the newest generation won't really be an appreciable difference. And that's why National Grid didn't feel like they wanted to give an incentive. So it's kind of a mixed message there. Gee, they're old and worn out. They're just, not as inefficient as they could have been. But I guess that's the way of the world, right? But it will have to come back. It will come back for town meeting because it was a, how many? $400,000 project? 200,000?
Yeah, it was 2 or 250.
So more money than we typically spend in a fell swoop.
The other option was to wait a year, do it the next round, and then it might be eligible then, because the cutoff was like the year 2000, and they were built in 2000.
Okay.
We just missed.
Yeah. So what is the name of the company other than National Grid?
Innovus Energy, they are a project expediter, INOVIS.
INOVIS. Okay. Questions, anyone? Okay, thanks. Anything else on green energy, green communities? Okay. All right, item C is municipal backup generator. Yes.
So this is the one I wish I had more to say, and I don't. I'll be calling McRitchie. It's actually on my to-do list today, and I just finished the item right ahead of it. This contract has been let out, so Fall River Electric has this contract, and we're waiting for the generator,
Yep.
and I just haven't heard from anyone for a long time. So with all of the other activity that's going to be going on in this building, I want to make sure we coordinate it. So I got to get some sort of finality from them. So that's where I'm at with that.
Anyone? You good? All right, next one is item D, municipal main roof replacement.
So we had decided to, because Weston and Sampson is our house doctor, and Selectman Fitzpatrick, in his last trip up to the roof, had noticed the way the existing roof is secured to the building. It involved a connection to or covering up of a substantial amount of copper flashing that was part of the original building, and was somewhat concerned that that had to be taken into account in the specifications for the project, because there may be some masonry and other issues that arise because of the flashing. So having a house doctor helps, because now we don't have this delay to go out, recruit a designer and go through all the trouble. But this is a little bit more complicated than just slapping a roll of
Roof, yeah.
rubber on top of the roof of this place. It's a 100-year-old building. You know, we have a substantial parapet up there. There were a lot of roof penetrations that were necessary part of the original building for fresh air replacement and everything else that are no longer modern or current. So the project now entails, the architect will write the specs and shepherd us through the bid process. We will completely remove all existing material on the roof down to the decking and install a new either rubber or PVC roof. That will be a critical decision. What the material we decide to use will determine how it's going to be attached to the sides, of the parapet, and the quality of that attachment and the durability of the roof itself, whether it's going to be 20 to 25 years or slightly longer than that. So they were here today. They walked the roof with the selectmen and with Adam Furno, and they have everything we've already done. So we've already done the sample, so we had, we drilled some cores to see how many layers of stuff are up there before we get the decking.
Excuse me, this was Weston and Sampson?
Yeah. Weston didn't do the core samples. It was a roofing contractor that did it to help us estimate
Okay.
the cost of the roof. But, roofing materials are substantially more expensive now than they were when town meeting voted this money. I think that we're still optimistic that we will be in budget, but we are looking for, in about 5 weeks' time, a rough estimate, as well as some preliminary drawings for the bid package. There are 2 steps involved now, so there needs to be a demolition plan. That is step 1, and then step 2 is coming up with the bid documents for the contractor to install the new roof. So work is well on its way, and we just have to do whatever you do to dance under the moonlight, sacrifice a small animal, pray,
No.
whatever it is that you do to try to improve our fortune. But we're hoping that we'd stay on budget with this one. But it's definitely necessary.
Yeah.
So the roof that we have up there, the material, it really, it has a specific product life. It seems to be quite durable up to that point, and then it falls apart very quickly. So as you know, we've had leaks up there. The The roof is about 25 years old. It will not be a sustainable practice to keep it up there for more than a year. So the goal is still, and Weston and Sampson feels it is very reasonable to have the new roof installed no later than October.
Anybody? Questions for Matt? Okay. I don't remember how much we put aside for roofing. Do you?
I don't either.
That's all right. Just,
I don't want to give a bad number. It was either 300 or 350.
okay.
And we originally thought we would bid out the elevator
Right.
roof as
That's
an
why I
ad
asked.
alternate.
Yeah.
Then the capital committee added more money for that because it has to be done. And I'm not sure what that total is going to be now with the old money plus the new money. But I'm going to say it's going to approach 400,000, and that's for the entirety of what's up there.
Okay. All right. If no one has any questions or comments, we'll move on to municipal fire alarm, which has to have the roof done first, right? We'll keep it on. HVAC for the fire station is the next item.
So, Madam Chair, we can handle F and G together.
Okay. Fire station upgrade, the
The
generator.
electrical upgrade
Yep.
and the HVAC upgrade. McRitchie has reached out here and is looking to schedule a site visit in the near future to take some measurements and further along some of their conceptual drawings. Again, when I have them on the phone, I'll try to get more detail, but I was glad to hear from them at all.
I know that's been
In
a
a
problem.
proactive way, so
Yeah.
that they reached out to us and said they're going to be coming, so. That is where we are with them.
Anybody? Okay. Item 3 is the ARPA funding and qualification discussion. I believe the selectmen have already designated where the ARPA money is going.
Yeah, I think last meeting I updated you on.
And you mentioned something about someone from the water department maybe giving an update on the water project.
Yeah, Bob Sullivan continues to pursue Stantec for drawings and to get, I think his intention is to have the water department fund those activities from retained earnings. I would, actually, I don't know how we forgot to do this, but let's just put them on your agenda for next time.
Sure. All right. Anyone else have anything?
So one of the ARPA projects, Madam Chair, if I may,
Sure.
includes the security for this building and for the fire station. So there has been quite a bit of activity. And you'll notice it walking in and out of the building now, that cameras are being installed at some locations in the building here. And the same work will be going on down the street. The telephone system, which is also funded with ARPA, has been installed, I'm going to say now, highway and water department. And we started, I believe, with the adult social center. So 3 of the outlying functions of town, the phones have been installed. When we start plugging that system in here, we're going to have, part of a day when we're out of connectivity. So we're making sure we coordinate with the police department, make sure we do that in some ungodly hour of the night when it will interrupt our regular operation. the equipment comes to us pre-programmed because they've already done all the system design and the specifications of each individual phone have already been established. So once they come, they get plugged in, and then their hub, their main server where they're all going to operate from is what takes a little bit of time to boot up, recognize all the connections between all the phones, that all the phones are plugged in, and then we're operational after that. So it's gone smoothly to this point with the smaller things. The only glitch we had was some of our older buildings have really old fire alarms, and you have to have an analog phone line. And we were plugging digital phones into a digital phone system. Wasn't accepting the signal, so it took a day or two to work out how we were going to get around that, which basically we had to have Verizon come give us an analog line. Because the fire alarm has two, right? A primary and a secondary.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the fire alarm started going off the highway department. I don't know who it was telling anything, it just said no connection, right?
Uh-oh.
So
All
it
right.
was at the highway department though, so it was almost like, oh, maybe it'll burn down.
Good.
Oh, gee. No, we don't need that.
We don't need that.
Not, no.
Actually,
Any?
I have a couple questions.
Yes, Fred.
Does that include door sensors and key fobs and all? Is that all tied in together?
Our key fob system here in the town hall is separate from our phones.
So this isn't going to take over? The reason why,
We're going to plug what we're using now into that, and it'll work fine. Everything will be new at the fire station. So there'll be security cameras, keyless entry, and enhanced security around that building. It's all going to be tied together.
does cable still pay half the alarm bill?
I don't know.
Good
Okay,
question.
I'm thinking back to years ago, and with the original alarm that was put in, cable was paying half or a portion of it.
I
So-
don't know. I can look into it.
Good question.
It's already being budgeted anyway, maybe some relief to the cable budget.
Yeah. So is the police department, new phones, they're functioning well with the phones? No?
So that's next. So
Okay.
we will be doing,
Yeah.
right now, we treat it as two. We will now be treating it as one, so town hall and police department will now be one core system,
Okay. Anyone else?
as opposed to one that's been glommed onto the other and works when it wants to. We will now have one.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
a good connection. Yes. All right, if there is no other things to discuss, we do have minutes of April 19th.
Unless you want to discuss the flyer we got
That's
from the
coming up.
library.
Yep. Let's do the minutes.
I have quite a few corrections on the April 19th, 2023.
Okay.
Let's see, under number 1, the second sentence, Mr. Benoit stated that they followed up with them. That's a lot of, we don't know who they and them are, so, and neither do I. So anybody reading this might want to know who
True.
them is at least. So,
And Weston, Sam.
followed, so that the selectmen followed up with Weston and Sampson?
No, this was, when you sent the follow-up to us, it says that's
This was before Matt joined the meeting.
Yeah, but he had sent that email out to them, just saying, hey, what's the latest and greatest?
So,
That's all he was saying.
So do you have any suggestion as to what this should be?
what did you say? It has,
Mr. Wojcik followed up with Weston and Sampson yesterday.
okay, thank you. And,
Thanks.
oh yeah, Number 2A, that sentence, Mr. Benoit does not know if the letter to Mr. Wojak was waiting for to make the closeout. I mean, that whole sentence makes no
Yeah,
sense.
This was real tricky because we were kind of waiting for Matt to get here.
Yeah, but still, it's- You definitely said it correctly, or I would have said, huh?
Mr. Benoit stammered inaudibly.
Well, still, the recorder's
Okay.
put a question mark if she can't read it.
So Mr. Benoit does not know if the letter Mr. Wojak was waiting for to make the closeout official.
The to make closeout is very bad written.
How about we shorten this and say Mr. Benoit does not know if the closeout letter has been received.
What did you say? Could you say that again?
Mr. Benoit does not know if the closeout letter has been received.
Okay,
Sounds good.
all right. And I hope you're writing that down, because I'm not writing all that. Okay. And then later on, in B, let's see, the second sentence, they had given the town estimates on 3 lighting projects that the town might consider doing on bill. OM. On bill?
O-N,
ON?
I guess.
On bill repayment?
Yeah, on bill repayment.
Okay. And National Grid should be capitalized, and it's not, well, actually, it says GERD, National GERD bill. It should be GRID, G-R-I-D. I believe National Grid should be capitalized. That's
Yeah.
the company name.
Yep.
And under E, missile fire alarm, this is waiting for the roof to be done to anything with this project.
Before anything is done,
Before,
I think. Huh?
this is waiting for the roof to be done before anything with this project?
This period after done?
This is,
Correct.
could be.
Short and sweet. And on the 3, the ARPA funding, and I believe Matt Benoit, you were speaking, and it says the selectmen have proposed using most of the ARPA funds.
I don't even know if I did that.
Yeah, Matt hadn't joined us yet. He joined us later on.
I don't even know if I'm the one that said that because I didn't know that. I think Shirley might have taken the lead.
This is quite a set of minutes. and
remember?
Mr. Benoit made stuff up.
No?
I mean, I watched the selectmen's meeting, so I know what it was for, but I wouldn't have said it.
I think it's for the water.
Yeah, but we can't just make it
No,
up. We
I
gotta know.
understand
So
that.
you want her to look at the minutes and see what was said or not said? Secretary? Okay.
See who said that.
Do you want,
I'm just putting a who with a question mark.
yeah,
Okay, and then, let's see, under the next one where it says Matt Wojcik joined the meeting, it doesn't, that first paragraph, it doesn't say what he was talking about at all, which would have been for the highway and public safety building. It just says Weston and Sampson are fully on task, they've exchanged documents, and it talks about the 68 5K funding, but it doesn't say what that amount of money is for, or
That is the fee.
conceptual drawing.
That's the estimated fee.
yes, for
So that,
the highway,
correct.
yeah.
All right, so that should be what he was talking about, should be. And the next page, under the 5:15, under the 1525 TS at 4:15 PM, the fire station upgrade, Mr. Wojcik stated that this is basically the same project at the HVAC as. And, yeah, and I have a question on the 416 one about the ARPA allocation, where it said Bob Sullivan, that you would ask Bob Sullivan to come to the next meeting to explain what the project is going to look like and the funding that is coming out of the water
If
department.
the fund.
So the water department is providing the funding?
So as I mentioned earlier here today, I believe that the systems manager is going to request the water commissioners to fund the engineering out of retained earnings.
So that statement that was said a month ago is what I'm questioning. So we don't know if it's coming out of the water department yet.
So it is
It
coming
said-
out, you could say maybe coming out.
Well, what was really said at that meeting?
Maybe I do better then than I do now.
Well, I don't know, we gotta be sure, because these are official documents we're voting on.
That's right.
And, let's see, Fred, you had asked Mr. Wojcik how the radios are working. Did you mention new radios, or, because it's kind of vague there, or anybody who's
That's
reading?
the new radio system.
So you think you would have said the new radio system at that time? Do you want to insert that?
I think it's all right the way it is.
Okay, all right, sounds good, and that's all I have.
Anyone else?
On one of that same paragraph.
What do you-
It says there was a fire off Southwest Street, which is on Southwest Main.
Yeah.
Southwest Main?
Southwest Maine, yep.
I don't have a Southwest Street.
Oh, yeah.
I can find one of those.
We could do it just to confuse you though.
It's actually Southwest Main Street, though, right? Is a street in there? I don't know. Yeah?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
would it be all right if I were to clean this up and bring these minutes back to next meeting?
I was going to suggest not only
If you could
that.
have them resent
Hold
out.
it, hold it.
Thanks.
I would suggest also maybe if you could get in touch with the recorder. Okay? And bring it back. Is the board okay with that?
Sounds good. Yep.
All right, and then we can take care of it. All right,
So hold till next meeting.
yes. Needs, yep. Also, under open session for topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting, I did get an email from Justin Schnook of the library, and he informed me that he had placed flyers in our box, and I got them and passed out copies. I will read it so that people are aware. It says, "Dear BFCC members, the Simon Fairfield Public Library Board of Trustees is currently engaging the services of Mary Brainy, a library building specialist, to prepare a library building program. This document will serve as a letter to any future architect outlining the reality of our current situation, the needs of the community, and what it will take to get from here to there. We hope to use this document when applying for a library building construction grant program in March of 2024. Your voices matter in this process. If we end up moving forward with a project, you will be involved in the process. But more importantly, your volunteerism on the BFCC makes you ideally suited to speak on behalf of the residents of Douglas regarding the future of the library building. So please consider participating in one of the following discussions and RSVP so I can slot you in. I want to fill all available seats, so please also RSVP, even if you can't so I can seek out additional attendees. Email me at my address below, call at the number above, or text my cell at 501-230-4105. Thank you. And option one is mediated focus group on June 15th, noon in the Town Hall Community Room. Option two, mediated focus group on July 6th at noon in the Town Hall Community Room. And option three is public forum discussion on July 20th at 6:30 PM in the library. Thanks for reading. Justin Schnook, Director. So what he's asking, if anybody's available, but respond to him anyhow, whether you can or not be involved.
I have a question. So if 4 of us want to attend, it's actually a meeting?
Yeah, so we
It has
have
be
to,
posted here?
Yeah.
So you should know about this, not just...
that's right.
And then it could be posted. And what people say, well, I'll go.
So keep that in mind. Anyone have anything else other than the upcoming meetings, which will be June 21 and July 19th? And please, if you are unable to attend, let me know, because we usually always need a quorum. Okay?
Well, we do always, not usually, always.
Yeah, well, true, true. All right. Anyone, anything else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn at 4:39.
Second.
Linda, motion to adjourn, and Bob Wormy, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you, everyone.